Hi everyone, I'm Helen from Susan's family. Today I'm bringing you the Paisley blanket, which consists of large motifs. The first edging, small flowers, the second edging and decorations. First, crochet and join the large motifs. Once completed, crochet the first edging in rounds. Then move on to crochet and join the small flowers, and connect them with the first edging. Then crochet the second edging around the outer ring of the small flowers. Finally make and attach the decorations. Let's start by making the large motifs. There are 4 in total. First crochet them. Then sew them together after they're done. Each motif has 2 ways of crocheting. The middle part is worked back and forth. The outer part is crocheted in rounds. To make it easier to explain, I'll call the back and forth section Section 1, and the remaining part Section 2. First, crochet Section 1, then work Section 2 around Section 1. Several stitch techniques are used, all marked accordingly on the chart, so I won't go through each one here. Now watch me demonstrate the crocheting method. For easier watching, here I'll use a contrasting color of cotton yarn for demonstration. For specific yarn, color scheme and hook size, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instruction. Let's start with Section 1. First, make a foundation chain. Then, work the corresponding number of chains according to the chart. After completing that, make 3 beginning chains to start. These 3 chains count as 1 double crochet, then chain 2 as a space. Insert your hook into the 9th chain space from right to left counting downward, not including the loop on your hook. Start counting from the braid on the left side. Pick up the braid of the corresponding chain stitch. Take the strand above. Work 1 double crochet. Then chain 2 as a space. Skip 2 stitches below, leaving them unworked. Slip the next stitch chain braid. Take the top strand, work 1 double crochet. For the following chains, always pick the top strand of the corresponding chain braid to insert the hook. I won't explain this in detail later. Continue down with 2 chain spaces. Skip 2 stitches. Pick up 1 stitch and work 1 double crochet. After this, keep skipping 2 stitches, alternately working 2 chains and 1 double crochet. Complete the last 2 chain stitches. Skip 2 stitches. Continue down to the edge chain position. Correspondingly make 1 double crochet. At this point, the first row is completed. Now work the second row, make 3 beginning chains as turning chain. Here, the turning chain corresponds to the double crochet on the edge below. Turn the work over. Then work 2 chain spaces. Pick up the adjacent double crochet position to the left. Work 1 double crochet. Insert into the stitch at this position. When crocheting on the wrong side of the previous row, the stitch is located at the top left. Insert the hook into the stitch. Crochet accordingly. After completing, continue with 2 chain spaces. Then pick the next double crochet positions, and work a double crochet in each, separated by 2 chains. Here, the last double crochet, work into the turning chain position of the previous row. From the current double crochet stitch, count 2 chains to the left. The third chain is the top chain of the beginning chain. Pick up the outer 2 strands of that chain. Work 1 double crochet. This completes the second row. Continue to row 3. Use the same method as the previous row. Make 3 beginning chains. Turn the work. Then chain 2. Next, pick the double crochet position to the left and work a double crochet, separate with 2 chains between them. When you reach the beginning chain position of the previous row, pick the third chain from the bottom up. Pick the 2 outer strands of the corresponding chain at the edge. Work 1 double crochet. Row 3 is complete. For the remaining rows, continue crocheting using the same method as the first 2 rows. Keep crocheting until the last row. Do not cut the yarn after completing. Everyone can finish it on their own. Once completed, refer to the chart and check the dimensions. If the size is quite different, adjust your tension or switch to a different hook size and recrochet. That concludes the explanation for section 1. Next, we'll crochet section 2. Continue from the previous yarn tail. Make 3 beginning chains as the turning chain. Turn the work. Work 2 chains as a space below. Then, insert the hook into the double crochet position, and make a double crochet, separate them with 2 chain spaces. When you reach the turning chain from the previous row, pick up the top chain stitch as well. Make 1 double crochet. Then crochet 5 chains. Next, work 1 double crochet in the same insertion point. After that, pick the side edge of each row and crochet. First, work 2 chain spaces. Then, pick the side edge of the adjacent row to the left. The top of the first stitch on the edge. Here, when you meet a double crochet, insert into the stitch. Work 1 double crochet, 2 chains. Then, pick the side edge of the row on the left. Here, when you meet the turning chain, pick the top chain stitch, the insertion point for the double crochet above. Work 1 double crochet, 2 chains. From now on, pick the top of the first stitch. At the edge of each row, work 1 double crochet per row, with 2 chain spaces between them. Finish the side edge of the first row, down to the starting edge, pick the chain stitch position, the insertion point for the double crochet on this side. Correspondingly make 1 double crochet, 5 chains. Make 1 double crochet in the same position. Then work 2 chains. Moving down, pick the starting edge on this side to crochet, insert the hook into the previous double crochet's insertion point, and work a double crochet, with 2 chain spaces between them. When you reach the turning chain position, count 3 chain spaces to the left from here. Pick up 2 strands and make a double crochet. Then chain 5. Make 1 double crochet in the same position. Now you've reached the side edge of each row again. Crochet following the method for this side. Moving left, you'll find a beginning chain without any stitch worked into it. Starting point of the round. This is the starting position for this round. Work 5 chains down as a bridge. Pick up the top of the beginning chain. Join with a slip stitch. Insert hook into the corresponding 2 strands of the chain and crochet. The joining slip stitch here at the beginning and ending needs to be pulled tight. The first round is complete. The starting position for the next round has changed. At the same time, change colors. Break the yarn here. First, secure with a chain stitch. Leave a little yarn tail. Cut the yarn. Pull tight. The yarn tail can be hidden when crocheting the next round. Leave the beginning yarn tail aside for now. Crochet round 2. Face the neat side of the stitch texture from round 1 toward you. This is the right side of the fabric. Position the starting tail of section 1 at the bottom left corner of the piece. Then, in the upper left area, insert the hook into the chain space of the 5 chain. Insert into the space. Take the yarn. Make a slip knot with the yarn. Place it on the hook and pull through. Adjust slightly. Pay attention to keep the knot and yarn tail from showing on the right side. Make 3 beginning chains. Insert hook into the same space. Crochet 2 double crochets. Keep the yarn tail over your hook during this process. Crochet and hide the tail as you go. After completing, crochet 3 chains. Then crochet 3 double crochets into the same space. Next, move left and insert hook into the 2 chain space. In one space, crochet 2 double crochets. When you reach the corner 5 chain space, correspondingly make 3 double crochets. Three chains. 3 double crochets. For the following 5 chain spaces, work in the same way. 2 chain space, 1 space, 2 double crochets. Continue this method to finish the remaining part. When you encounter the yarn from the previous round, place it on top and crochet over it to hide it as you go. Continue crocheting downward. Crochet the last double crochet in the final space. Move down to the starting position. Here, pick up the top of the beginning chain. Pick up 2 strands and crochet a slip stitch to join. After completing, pull tight. You'll need this color for the next round. Don't cut the yarn here. The second round is now complete. Next, crochet the third round. Some positions here require a color change. For clarity and explanation, I'll refer to the starting color as color 1. First, continue from the previous yarn tail. That is, use color 1. Make 3 beginning chains to start. Align with the starting position below. Then pick the left side of the double crochet stitch. Work 1 double crochet. The stitch is slightly distorted here. Insert the hook into the top 2 strands to crochet. Continue making double crochets afterward. In the following chart, the second stitch changes color. This indicates a color change is needed. So, perform the color change on the stitch before the one shown changing color in the chart, that is, at the current left side stitch position. Here you need to make a double crochet with a color change. First, make an incomplete double crochet, yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over and pull through. Then yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. 2 loops remain on the hook. That's an incomplete double crochet. Now pick up the color you're changing to. In order, this color is color 2. Leave a little yarn tail. Hang color 2 with your left hand. Place it behind the hook. Yarn over and draw through all loops on the hook. The double crochet is complete, and the color change is also complete. Continue crocheting with color 2 from now on. Color 1 will be needed again later. To reduce cutting the yarn, we can carry the yarn along. Carry the yarn using the weave-in method. Pick the chain space at the corner to the left. Crochet 3 double crochets with color 2. The short yarn tail of color 2 can also be hidden as you crochet. After completing, crochet 3 chains. In the same position, crochet another 3 double crochets. Note, after the third stitch, switch back to color 1 for the next stitch. So when making the third stitch, change colors. First crochet 2 double crochets. For the third stitch, make an incomplete double crochet. Then pick up color 1. Pay attention, do not cross the yarns here. Slightly stretch it out. Lay the fabric flat. Then yarn over and pull through. The double crochet is complete, and the color change is also complete, since color 2 will only be needed at the next corner position. For neatness here, to reduce visible yarn carryover marks, we'll leave a long tail before cutting the yarn. Leave this yarn tail unsecured for now. Continue downward with color 1. Pick up stitches to the left and work a double crochet into each stitch. Keep going until one stitch before the red stitches on chart 9. Pay attention, after completing the corner, the adjacent stitch can be easily hidden. Make sure not to miss any stitch. When you reach the corresponding position, the next magenta stitch requires a color change, so work 1 double crochet in the adjacent stitch and switch colors. Here in sequence, we switch to color 3. After completing, continue crocheting double crochets with color 3. And when working the last stitch of this color, switch back to color 1. First refer to the chart and crochet to the last stitch position of this color. Color 1 will be used again after a few stitches. Crochet while carrying the yarn along. Weave in the short tail of color 3 as you crochet. When reaching the last stitch of this color, work a double crochet downward and switch to color 1. Before switching colors, pull the corresponding yarn to make it flat. Here, color 3 will be used again at a position further away. Also for neatness and appearance, you can cut the yarn. Leave the yarn tail unsecured for now. Later, use color 1 to crochet to the corner, 1 stitch before the green stitch on the chart. Reach the corresponding position. Work a double crochet and switch to color 2. The color switching method is the same as at the first corner earlier. After completing, use color 2. Pick up the chain space and crochet. At the last stitch of this color, switch back to color 1. From now on, color 1 will be used every few stitches. Always carry the yarn along while crocheting the edge. To the left, first pick up the space and crochet 3 double crochets. Chain 3, 2 double crochets. Reach the last stitch position. Work a double crochet and switch to color 1. After that, cut the yarn for color 2 and leave it in place. Downward, use color 1 to crochet 2, 1 stitch before the stitch pattern of color 3. After completing, work a double crochet and switch to color 3. Then continue crocheting with color 3. Switch to color 1 at the last stitch of this color. From now on, work all corner positions with color 2. Centered between corners, use color 3 to crochet. For all other positions, use color 1 to crochet. Each color change happens at the last stitch of the corresponding color. Work an incomplete double crochet to switch colors. Always carry color 1 along while crocheting. After completing their respective areas, break the yarn for color 2 and color 3. Moving forward, please refer to the chart and follow along with the previous demonstration. Complete the remaining part. Finish the last stitch. Down here, join with a slip stitch into the top of the beginning chain. Here, both the double crochet and beginning chain are worked into the third chain, and insert hook under both strands. After completing, pull tight. Color 1 will be needed later, so leave it for now. Now we'll take care of the other yarn tails. Take color 2 here as an example. The tails are all woven into the wrong side of the corresponding color. For the yarn ends cut off during previous color changes, first, pick up an adjacent spot, and work one chain stitch to secure. Then weave it into the fabric. Go back and weave it again. You can weave in a few more stitches if needed. Then trim off the remaining tail. Handle the rest of the yarn tails using the same method. Complete this part on your own. Round 3 is now complete. Next, crochet the 4th round. Continue using color 1. Chain 3 as beginning chains. Then work 1 double crochet to the left. When crocheting adjacent stitches, switch to color 2. Then use color 2 to work a DC3 together. With color 1, remember to carry it along as you crochet. Pick up stitches to the left one by one. Work 3 incomplete double crochets. 1, 2, 3. There are 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. Complete the DC3 together. Then chain 2. Pick up the chain space to the left. Work 4 double crochets. Then chain 2. Work a DC3 together in the adjacent stitch. Switch to color 1 at the same time. First work 3 incomplete double crochets. After completing, pick up color 1. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. Completed the DC3 together. Also completed the color change. Similarly, color 2 will be used again at the next corner position. Cut the yarn. Continue down with color 1, work 3 double crochets. Need to change color at the next stitch. Here we add a new color. In order, it's color 4. Work a double crochet and switch to color 4. Downward, use color 4 to work a DC5 bobble stitch. At the same time, switch back to color 1. Pick up the left side stitch. In one position, work 5 incomplete double crochets. After completing, pick up color 1. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. There are many stitches here on the fabric. It can be slightly pulled forward to stand out. Completed the DC5 bobble stitch. Also completed the color change. Similarly, color 4 is far away from the next usage position. Cut the yarn. Use color 1 afterward. Work 3 double crochets. At the next stitch, switch to color 3. After completing, use color 3 to work a front post double crochet decrease. Color change is also required at the same time. Yarn over. Pick up from below on the left. The first double crochet where color 3 was previously placed. Insert from the right side of the corresponding stitch. Come out on the left side. Picked up 1 corresponding stitch forward. Then yarn over and pull through. Pull the yarn up to match the height of this round of stitches. Then yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. 2 loops remain. This is an incomplete front post double crochet. Then continue to the left, work 1 more incomplete front post double crochet, yarn over. Insert on the right side of the stitch 1 position to the left. Come out on the left side, pick up the corresponding stitch, yarn over and pull through. Then yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. This completes another incomplete front post double crochet. Now pick up color 1. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. Completing the decrease for the front post double crochet, and completing the color change. Then continue to the left, starting from the first stitch of color 3 underneath. Work into each stitch behind, 1 by 1, making 5 double crochets. Color 3 will still be needed later in this area. Carry the yarn along as you crochet. After completing, make a double crochet in the next stitch and switch to color 3. Then pick the last 2 stitch positions of the color 3 section underneath. Work a decrease using front post double crochet. Color change is also required here. First, make 2 incomplete front post double crochets. One. 2. Then pick up color 1. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. Complete the front post double crochet decrease and color change. Color 3 will not be used again until much later, so carry it accordingly. Cut the yarn. Then starting from the second stitch to the left of the last stitch of color 3 below. Pick up a stitch and correspondingly make 3 double crochets. Switch to color 4 on the next stitch. After completing, use color 4 to crochet a DC5 bobble stitch. At the same time, switch to color 1. First, work 5 incomplete double crochets. Then pick up color 1. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. Complete the 5 double crochet bobble stitch and color change. Color 4 is far away from its next working position. Cut the yarn. Leave the yarn tail uncurried at the back. Cut the yarn after completing each corresponding section. I won't keep reminding you about this later. Moving down, use color 1 to crochet 3 double crochets. On the adjacent stitch, switch to color 2 while crocheting. Then use color 2 to make a DC3 tog. After that, work 2 chain stitches. In the corner chain space, crochet 4 double crochets. Two chains. On the left stitch, work a DC3 tog and switch to color 1. Then use color 1 to crochet 3 double crochets. On the next stitch, switch to color 4. Then use color 4 to make a bobble stitch with 5 double crochets, and switch back to color 1. After that, continue using color 1 to crochet 3 double crochets. On the next stitch, switch to color 3 while crocheting. Then use color 3. Pick up the first 2 stitches underneath in the color 3 section. Work a front post double crochet decrease while switching to color 1. After completing, start from the first stitch underneath in color 3, pick up stitches, and work 1 double crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. On the next stitch, switch to color 3. Then pick up the last 2 stitches underneath in the color 3 section. Work a front post double crochet decrease, and switch to color 1. After completing, skip 1 stitch to the left in color 1. Start from the adjacent stitch, work 1 double crochet in each stitch for 3 times. On the next stitch, switch to color 4. Work a bobble stitch of 5 double crochets and switch to color 1. Then work 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. On the next stitch, switch to color 2. From now on, at the corner position, use color 2 to crochet. For the middle section, use color 3. For both sides, use color 4. For the rest, use color 1. Please refer to the chart, and combine with the previous demonstration. Complete the remaining crocheting. Finally, join with a slip stitch to the beginning chain. Pull tight. Then, on the wrong side, secure the yarn tails. Everyone please finish it on your own. That concludes the explanation for the 4th round. Next, crochet the 5th round. Continue from the previous yarn tail, that is, use color 1. First, make 3 beginning chains. Then pick up stitches to the left. Correspondingly make double crochets 1 by 1. When reaching the position of 3 stitches together into 1, skip. Pick up the left chain space, make 4 double crochets correspondingly. Then crochet 4 chain stitches. At this point, stretch the loop. Remove the hook. Next, use color 2. Rejoin color 2 on the left side to continue crocheting. First, join the yarn. Make a slip knot with the yarn. Insert the hook into the first double crochet stitch. Pull the yarn through to form a loop. Adjust slightly. Yarn joined and completed. Then make 2 chain stitches as beginning chain. Next, work a DC3 tog, double crochet 3 stitches together. At this point, cut the yarn, leaving a long tail below. Then stretch the loop slightly larger. Remove the crochet hook. Weave in the yarn loop of color 1. Insert into the yarn loop of color 2 from left side. Yarn over and draw through. This secures the loop of color 2. And completes 1 chain stitch at the same time. Continue down with 3 more chain stitches, including the secured chain stitch. This makes a total of 4 chain stitches. Match the number of stitches on this side. Then pick up chain spaces on the left and make 4 double crochets. Skip the DC3 tog position on the left side. Continue down, work into each stitch correspondingly to make double crochet. When reaching the bobble stitch position, there are 2 bobble stitches on this side edge. At the first bobble stitch position, insert the hook into the gap next to the right side of the bobble stitch and make a double crochet. Skip the stitch of the bobble stitch. Continue to the left, pick up stitches 1 by 1 and make double crochets accordingly. When reaching the second bobble stitch on this side edge, skip its stitch. Pick up the gap between stitches on the left and make a double crochet. Continue picking up stitches and crocheting afterward. Pay attention, do not miss adjacent stitches. Skip the DC3 tog position. Pick up chain spaces and make 4 double crochets. Four chain stitches. Stretch the loop to enlarge it. Remove the hook. Then join color 2. And work 2 chain stitches. DC3 tog. Slightly enlarge the loop. Leave a yarn tail and fasten off. Thread through the loop of color 1. Then pass through the loop of color 2. Then crochet 4 chain stitches. From now on, at corner positions all are double crochet together. While crocheting with color 1, secure the loops of the joined stitches. For the remaining positions, correspondingly make double crochets. At the bobble stitch position, for the first bobble stitch, work a double crochet in the gap to its right side. For the second bobble stitch, work a double crochet in the gap on the left side. From here on, refer to previous rows and the chart to continue crocheting. After completing the last stitch, join with a slip stitch into the top of the beginning chain. Pull tight. Round 5 is completed. Now you can refer to the chart and put together to check the dimension. If the size differs significantly, adjust your tension or change the hook size, and recrochet section 2. Finally, cut the yarn. Simply hide the tail to the wrong side. Before hiding color 2, secure it first with a chain stitch. That concludes the explanation for section 2. At this point, one large motif is completed. Using the same method, crochet the corresponding number of large motifs. Crocheting is finished. Proceed to connect the motifs. Here, use the whip stitch method. Pick up the edges of the motifs and match them together. First, make sure the right sides face out, then orient the first row of section 1 all facing downward. Arrange them into a square shape. The sewing is divided into horizontal and vertical joining. Start with horizontal joining. Use color 1 from motif 2 to sew. Take the 2 sides of the motifs that need to be sewn together. Use a strand twice as long. Leave it a bit longer. Then thread the yarn into the sewing needle and set aside. Now I'll start sewing from the 2 rightmost motifs. Take out the motifs. Place them with wrong sides together. Align the positions to be sewn. First, at the front motif's right corner position. Secure the yarn tail on the back side. Then bring the thread up to the top position for sewing. The chain space next to the corner cluster stitch is the starting sewing position for this side edge, which is the chain corresponding above the cluster stitch now. Counting from the left, it's the 4th chain. Exit through the outer half loop of the corresponding chain. Then pick up the braid of the left chain. Insert into the outer half loop. On the back motif, pick the corresponding chain space. Exit through the outer half loop of the corresponding chain. Insert into the half loop of the left chain. Sew once like this. Then go back to the front. Insert into the previous entry point. Pick up the top half loop at the position of the left chain and exit. On the back, follow the same insertion order. Insert into the previous exit point. Exit through the outer side half loop of the left chain. Continue sewing one more time following this stitch sequence. After completing this part, give a gentle tug to tighten slightly. Once done, proceed when you meet the next stitch. The stitch has two strands. The front one is the front loop. The back one is the back loop. Insert into the previous exit point. Then exit through the back loop of the left stitch. On the back, insert into the previous exit point. Into the back loop of the left stitch. At this point, exit through the half loop closest to the wrong side of the fabric. Moving forward, whenever you meet a stitch on the front motif, pick up the back loop. On the back motif, when picking up stitches, insert into the strand closest to the wrong side and sew. This method of alternately picking the front motif and inserting into the back motif is called whip stitch sewing. Repeat this process to sew the two motifs together completely. During sewing, when you encounter a beginning chain with multiple chains, whether exiting or entering the stitch, always go through the same hole where the previous slip stitch was inserted. Continue sewing downward. When reaching the chain position on this side, still pick the half loop, and sew correspondingly one by one. Keep sewing until all 4 chain positions are completed. After finishing the seam, there are still 4 chains left on the other side. Now one side of the 2 motifs has been sewn together. Now 2 motifs. Now one side of the 2 motifs has been sewn together. Next, take another pair of motifs, above and below on the left side. Place them with wrong sides together as before. Start sewing from the chain position next to the corner cluster stitch. That is, insert the hook into the position of 4 chains at one side edge. Gently pull tight at the corner position. Continue sewing onward using the same method. When the yarn is not long enough during sewing, following the sewing direction, first insert the needle into the wrong side of the motif. Then bring the thread down to a slightly lower position. Take a new piece of sewing yarn. And tie a knot with the tail ends of the 2 yarn tails to secure them. Leave the yarn tails unweaved for now, then thread the new piece of yarn into the yarn needle. Draw it through from the same insertion point as before. Carry the thread inside the fabric for a bit. Then continue sewing in the same order as before. After completing the last chain space, thread the yarn to the wrong side. And tie a knot with an adjacent stitch while weaving in the end. You can weave in a few extra stitches for security. Weave in the remaining yarn tails by tying knots and hiding them within the fabric. Complete this step on your own. That concludes the explanation for horizontal motif joining. Next, we'll explain vertical joining. The method is the same as before. Start from the chain next to the corner cluster. Sew all the way to the corresponding corner position of the 4 motifs. Sew up to this point first. You've now completed the 4 chain spaces at the corner on this side. Moving down to the previous joining point. Here, to prevent a hole from forming, we'll insert the needle into the same stitch used in the prior seam. And make 1 sewing stitch. Gently tighten. Then continue from the 4 chain spaces of the 2 motifs on the left side. Match and sew together. Once sewing is complete, hide the yarn end on the wrong side. That's it for the vertical sewing method. This is the effect after completing the sewing of 4 motifs. With that, the motif sewing is now done.